What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bears News Network. I'm your host, Mike Anderson, where we talk Chicago Bears news, man. And the only YouTube channel out there, man, that give out Chicago Bears tickets during the season and prizes, man. So if you're a Chicago Bears fan, that does not cost you anything. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all the love and support. You can also follow us on different social media platforms at Bears News Network on Facebook and Instagram, and also right here on YouTube, man. So if you're a Chicago Bears fan, things is looking up and it's heating up. Hit that subscribe button so you can be tuned in for news and be able to win some tickets, man, to see these upcoming Chicago Bears play at Soldier Field. We appreciate all the love and support. Now, let's get right into it, man. The news, man. Breaking news, the Chicago Bears go out and trade for Keenan Allen for a fourth-round pick, man, from the Los Angeles Chargers. In this year's draft, they give up a fourth-round pick. When you look at Keenan Allen numbers, man, we have another bona fide number one wide receiver. We've been talking about, even at the age of 32, Keenan Allen is still getting it done at a high level. He's 31, he'll be 32 years of age, but he's still getting it done at a high level. It's under a 1-year contract right now, so we only have him under 1 year, but I don't see Ryan Poles making this move and giving up such a fourth-round pick, high draft capital, just for it to be a 1-year rental. So I see some kind of extension, possibly a 2-year extension. So we possibly will have him for 3 years, and he could possibly finish out his career here in Chicago. Man, when I grade the move, perfect A by Ryan Post. Even though you're getting an older player, you're still getting a player that's been productive throughout his whole career. Man, one of the best receivers will be no doubt a first ballot future Hall of Famer in Keenan Allen. And now when you look at his stats from the 2023 season, he had 150 targets, over 100 receptions. He had 108 receptions. Receiving yards was 1,243. He had an average yards per reception at 11.5, and he had 7 receiving touchdowns. Man, when you look at him and DJ Moore last year, with DJ Moore had 136 targets, 96 receptions, 1,364 yards receiving. DJ Moore averaged of 14.2 yards per reception, and he had 8 touchdowns. This is the perfect tandem that we need in Chicago, no matter who's behind at the quarterback position. You have a 1A, 1B. You can't even call 1A, 1B. You have a 1 and a 1A basically at this rate. And my thoughts about it, man, like I said, I give it an A signing. Let me know your guys' thoughts right underneath this video. I want to hear from you guys, man. Keenan Allen is becoming a Chicago Bear, man. Good signing by Ryan Poles. And like I said, no matter the age, he's still one of those productive players who's still producing at a high level even at his age. And he still have a lot left in the tank, a couple of more years, man. So good depth signing. Let's get into the other signings, man, that the Chicago Bears been making moves, because it's been a busy all season. And the number one question is still looming around now. What do we do with Justin Fields and this number one overall pick, man? So, but before we get into that, let's get into what they did. They went out and signed Kevin Byard, the strong safety, to a 2-year, $15 million deal. He's going to be our Eddie Jackson replacement. When you look at it, it's an upgrade at the position. So we're getting a player that's a former Pro Bowler, All Pro, a player who's been productive in this league, and a veteran presence on this team that we did not just lose, that we lost with by releasing Eddie Jackson, but now that we gained back with Kevin Byard on this roster, man, a good signing, and he's better than Eddie Jackson. Upgrade there. Good job. Good signing by Ryan Poles there. Let's get into DeAndre Swift signing. We signed DeAndre Swift, the running back from the Eagles. He was with Detroit a few years ago, to 3 years, $24 million. This is our starting running back with Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson leading right behind him. But a guy that can give you good rush yards, can run between the tackles, can run outside the tackles, can come out of the backfield and catch passes for you and get yards. Just an all-around good running back with DeAndre Swift. Good signing by Ryan Post, and you did not go out and overpay on the running back market. As I know some people want to say Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs, but Ryan Post is firm on his numbers and he's sticking to them, and he refused to overpay. If we haven't learned anything about Ryan Post, that's one thing that we should know. He's not going to overpay. He's going to stay strong to his numbers. Then we went out, man, and we got Ryan Bates, the guard slash center from Buffalo, for a fifth round pick in this year's draft. Just another depth side and piece, man. Ryan Bates. We looked to try to get him a couple of years ago. Man, our last video, man, Cootie talked about this, but uh, whatever Ryan posed, he matched the deal, and Buffalo matched. So therefore, Buffalo was able to get him and retain him. So we missed out on him a couple of years ago, but just another solid offensive line, solid depth piece to have, because as we can see last year, this offensive line had a lot of injuries, and we didn't get the continuity gel until the end of the year when everyone was healthy. But we went through a lot of tough injuries on this offensive line, losing Tevin Jenkins, losing Nate Davis as well, doing his mom's passing and certain injuries he was dealing with early in camp. So it's good to have good depth pieces on this offensive line, and Ryan Bates was a good addition. Then we went out and got Gerald Everett, the tight end from the Los Angeles Chargers. We signed him to a 2-year, $12 million deal, man. This is our tight end number 2, as we know that Shane Waldron likes to run the 2 tight end sets. So basically, Everett is a number 1 on anyone else's team, and basically he's our number 2. So we basically got 2 number 1 tight ends in Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett, man. Nice signing by Ryan Poles to have that. We have 2 dynamic tight ends that can block and go out and get passes. Then we went out and got Jonathan Owens, the safety from the Packers, and we signed him to a 2-year, $4.5 million deal. This guy, Simone Biles, the Olympic gold medalist gymnastics. This is her husband, and they're excited about coming to Chicago. Just another depth signing piece to have in that secondary, losing Eddie Jackson, and not necessarily seeing that Elijah Hicks, not that guy necessarily being the starter, but Elijah Hicks is a good depth piece to have. So just having another better depth piece to have on your roster in that secondary. Our secondary is strong as well. Then we went out and got Mike Pryor for on a 1-year deal, the offensive lineman. Then we got from the LA Rams, Brent Ripon on a 1-year deal as well. Then we're from the LA Chargers. We got A-Man Obagomage, 1 year, $2.1 million. And then this is the one that stuck out to me as well. The Coleman Shelton, the 1-year deal that we got from him. He came from the Los Angeles Rams. He played all his snaps last year for the Los Angeles Rams at center. He only gave up 34 QB pressures, 2 sacks, 11 hits, and 21 hurries. So it's looking as to this guy, Shelton is going to be our starter at center. What's wrong with a little competition? I like what Ryan Poles did. Then also he brought in Jake Curhan on a 1-year deal. He comes from the Seattle Seahawks. Details of those have not necessarily been released yet, so they're still waiting on those to come out. Okay, man. Tell me a not poll question of the day, man. Is this team ready to compete? Is this Chicago Bears team ready to compete? I think we is, man. I think that we're ready to compete. We should no doubt be a playoff caliber team next year, no matter who's under center, whether it's Justin Fields or Caleb Williams. And we still need some more holes. I do still see the Chicago Bears still going out and drafting a young wide receiver to bring into the mix to be that solid number 3 out in the draft, and someone that, since we have that what would I say, that leadership on the defensive side of the ball and that veteran leadership in Kevin Byard, and now having that veteran leadership in the wide receiver room with Keenan Allen, so you can bring in a young wide receiver and have Keenan Allen necessarily mold him, whether that be Aroma Dunze or Malik Neighbors, whoever they seem to do. But since that goes into that, man, and has a lot of questions, that leaves the Chicago Bears with 4 total draft picks in this year's draft. And we know that Ryan Poles says that he likes to build through the draft. And everyone needs to pay attention to that. He said he likes to build through the draft. So with those 4 picks, man, I've left it a possibility. People say, oh, that means he's keeping Justin and trading the #1 overall pick. But it's really in the possibility he can trade either the #1 or the #9 pick. But I do think that one of those picks will strongly be moved in order for more draft capital. We just need to see which one, depending on what Ryan Poles does as the QB situation, man. But let me know how you guys feel about these signings so far in the first phase, you can say, of free agency. And man, let me get your thoughts right underneath the video of your Chicago Bears fan. Like I said, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all the love and support, man. Great the signings, man. Great the free agency process so far. I'll give it a B plus A, man. A lot of good starting pieces, depth pieces added. Ryan Poles, I'm trusting the process. I'm excited. And man, I'm just ready to see what he's going to do at this QB situation. So man, when he lets us know what he's going to do at that QB situation, be on the lookout because we're going to drop another video ASAP for you guys. Like me and Cootie always say, be safe, Chicago, and bear down.